So I have been the victim of an involuntary muffler delete. That is really loud. Now what's happened is this clamp here loosens, I don't know how, but then it comes off of this pipe that comes down from your catalytic converters, and then your truck gets loud as shit because the muffler that's over there doesn't do anything anymore. So to fix it, I just would really just loosen these, put the clamp back where it belongs, tighten it down, back to factory quiet. But I have other plans. So my plan is to remove this whole pipe here. Truck's gonna get even louder, but I'm gonna replace it with something a little different so I can choose when my truck is gonna be loud. Yep. Goodness. All right. Yeah, it's in there. It's moved like a quarter of an inch. Well, how am I supposed to do? Okay, so I need a couple of measurements. I need the distance between this pipe and this pipe so I can make my new stuff. And that is 21 inches. Cool. And then here's the piece I'm going to make the new thing out of. It's obviously too long. I'm just kind of curious to see how far onto this it slides, or if it does at all. I gotta cut this down. That one goes way down on there. I may have to cut slits in this one like the other one, so the clamp will actually do something here. But yeah, that goes way down there. Mark that. Pull it off. A little over an inch and a half. So 21 between the pipes, inch and a half here, 22 and a half. So as long as we're in that ballpark, yeah, as long as we're in that ballpark, we'll be all right. Okay, so I got a better look at this, and this was on top, so I couldn't see it when I was laying under the truck. There's this little cutout in this pipe, and there's a little nipple that sticks up on the input pipe of the muffler that this goes in and locks on. That'd be why this one only went on an inch and a half, because it hit that little nipple. But I think if I need to, I can cut that in here, but I think I can get away with not doing it. Get it on there and just tighten the clamp, make the slits in it, that sort of thing. But the plan is to cut this down and then install this electronic cutout that I got from Jegs, and then have a switch in my dash where I can open my exhaust and close my exhaust whenever I want. This pipe is exactly 10 inches long, so we would need to go make it 23 for good measure. You can always cut more off, I can't put more back. Okay, now I'm going to cut the slits. I've marked on the opposite edges where I want to cut, and I've also marked where to stop. I measured 1.5 inches that it'll slide on, so I stopped just shy of 1.5 inches. That way I don't accidentally go too far, because remember, you can always take more off, you can't put the metal back. Okay, so I went ahead and decided to take advantage of that little nipple on the exhaust that went into this slot here, but I'm not going to reproduce that whole deal. I just put a little notch in it. That way when this slides on there and these pieces are together, all the weight from the motor and everything hanging off of it doesn't cause it to rotate, because it'll be keyed. It'll have that on there. So now I just need to get under there and line it up the way I want it to be, make my marks, and get this thing welded together. Alright, so I'm going to line my notch up with that little nipple on the back. Slide this, slide that on. Alright, it's in, so see, doesn't rotate, well, not much. And the clamp should take care of that. Alright, so now we gotta figure out how we want to orient this, because this is here, we want the down pipe down, right? But I mean, that's plenty of clearance from my drive shaft. Couple marks. Sure we get the orientation right, and we can go and tack it together. Alright, there it is, welded together. I suck at welding. I have no doubt that it is one piece now, and probably not going to just fall apart, but I do doubt that it's not going to crack. That is why I'm going put this stuff over the weld, and I'm going to go ahead and slide a clamp over it just for good measure. All right, it's time to put it in. All right. So I've got my notch to line up on the little nipple that's back here, and I hope I got this in the right orientation. Oh man, it's tight. Got the muffler raised up a little bit, so maybe almost there. Oh, look at that. Oh, goodness. Just gonna slide the clamp over Or not. That's fine. Ain't going nowhere. So now I just got to get the wire run to plug this thing in so I can open and close the exhaust from the cab. So the switch to operate the cutout is this one here. Down closes it, up opens it. In a previous video where I added a switch to my brake lights, that's where I showed how to install the switches. Then I just ran the wire behind here, back behind the stereo with all the other wires. And now it's back behind the glove box, which I will now remove. And I ran back behind the glove box, and see I've got all my slack here. Next plan is to bring it down behind this kick panel under here and try to find a way to get that pretty good sized connector through down here without, hopefully without drilling any new holes. Now there's a hole over here with a grommet in it. I ran other wires through. It's over here. Alright, so I may have to do something different because this hole is way too small to fit this big connector through. So I gotta figure out something else. I think I might just run the wire along this channel here, maybe drill a hole here and install a grommet myself, because that space is just wide enough to get that connector through. I don't know. Alright, after thinking about it, I'm not gonna drill another hole. I'm gonna cut the wire and feed it through that hole and just solder it back together right here. Okay, so what I did was ran the wire through that grommet back behind this mount for the running board, and then around over the top of the frame rail and over this heat shield. Zip tied here, zip tied here to try to keep it off of the heat shield. It should be fine, but better safe than sorry. You got it connected. So I just got to pull the slack through up top and splice the wire together. Alright, now all I got to do is fix this. Alright, everything is wired up. Let's see what it sounds like. And pushing up should open it. Nice. Down should close it off.